Alright, I'm going to show you a video on how I research a property and then follow up and look it up on the MLS. The first thing that I do is I open up a browser, okay? And first of all, before anything else, I really want to look at what does the actual property look like from the exterior. Here is a property I actually want to research right now. So here's a map. This is using Google. I'm going to go here to Street View, which is my favorite way to look at what the exterior of a property looks like. Alright, come on now. Let's refresh it real quick. Hopefully we can get it. There we go. Alright. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to do a screenshot. First of all, I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to click the plus button and I'm going to zoom in. Okay. And then I'm going to do a screenshot, which is a function key, and then print screen, which is PRTSC. It's a typical button on your keyboard. So I'm going to press that, and the way I have it set up is that I actually am going to, it automatically sends me a copy into my Dropbox. See, a screenshot was added to your Dropbox. If I click there, then there's the photo. It's basically it's a picture of what I was looking at on my screen. So what I'm then going to do is I'm going to right click it because I want to move it somewhere else. I'm going to do cut. I'm going to cut, and then I'm going to go over to my property folder. Okay. Now this is let's see here. This is a new personal lead that I have. So I name it 1305 Blackmore Road, and that's in Greensboro. And her name is Dorothy Nobles, and her telephone number. Okay, now let's, okay, now open it up and I do Control V, or let's just do this, right click and hit paste. Now there I saved a picture of the front of this house. I would really like to save a couple other pictures, so I'm going to go for a little bit further down the street and see if I can get an angled view like this. I'm going to zoom in. That way it can give me a really good idea of what the exterior from this side looks like. So it's brick and what looks like to be either vinyl siding, aluminum siding, or it could possibly be asbestos siding. The roof looks like it's a little bit older too. So it's just those types of things you can get an idea of what you're dealing with. Okay, so there again, I'm going to right click and go to cut. I'm going to now that I've actually created that folder and it's somewhere I went recently, I can now go to recent places and it should have it, the list, I don't know why. Sometimes it doesn't always work the way I want it to. Okay, see, I don't see it there. It's okay, we'll go back the other way. Go down to personal leads again and Blackmore Road. I'm going to Control V, so I'll paste it where I could have right clicked again and go on to paste. Okay. Now back here, I want to see an angle from, now anytime you see it has a little arrow, that means I'm traveling down the road. Okay, that's the way Google has their thing set up. So now I get a better idea of what the house looks like without the tree from both sides. Maybe I'll do one more. No, let me do back one more. Okay, so that's the house. It looks like it does not have central AC. It's got a window unit, so that means it's probably going to need central heating and air in the house. Let's see if I can go recent places now. Nope, still for some reason not showing it there. Couldn't tell you why it works sometimes. In a perfect world, this folder would have been on the top of the list of the recent places that I've been. Okay, so now we're done looking at what the exterior, the front of the house looks like. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to go to the MLS. Okay, triad.fusionmls.com. Already am logged in. Now this is something that not everyone's going to have. This is something you have to work out with your real estate agent to see if you can help them out. And in exchange, sometimes they give you access. And I do help out realtors, so I don't. This isn't something that you can just get if you're not actually helping out a realtor. So just know that this is something that is private. Now, with that being said, I'll show you how I do work with the MLS to determine what the value of properties are, which I think actually the MLS is the best source, even better than any other investor source that you can possibly have. So you go here. This is how I research them. I go to search, go to residential. Okay, now it gives you the map. Now, what I want to do first is I go over here where this pin is, which says show location business or MLS number. I click that. Now what I want to do is I want to put in that property, 1305 Blackmore Road, Greensboro, NC. Okay, now it shows it right there on the map where it is. I want to double click this. It puts it in the center of my map, and then I'll hit the zoom button. Okay, I want to zoom in. That's probably pretty good as far as zooming goes. Now what I want to do, I may actually back it up one. Okay, now what I'm trying to determine is the area that I want to pull comparable sales and also properties that are currently listed. If I go up here to where the pencil is, it says draw or modify custom search areas. Click that. I'm actually going to go to polygon tool. I'm going to first of all, let me show you radius tool. So basically that means if I click this and I go out, then it's going to show me any properties that are currently listed. Let's just go out 1 mile just for the sake of argument. And it's going to show, so all of those properties are currently listed and active listings on the MLS. And if I just kind of go over the front of it, it does show what they look like. But I'll show you further about how to see it in a list format. But you know, let's go ahead and just stick with that 1 mile radius. That looks like to be a pretty good area of coverage. Another way of doing it, if you want to do a rectangle, you click this and you start in the corner and it creates like a square or a rectangle. Also polygon, which is like if you wanted to basically go like just in certain areas, but it's not like a straight circle or square. You can like click here, then click here, then click here, click here, click here, click here, click here. You're basically creating your custom shape, and then when you go back to where you originally started and it creates that shape for you. Now over here it's showing all the active properties currently. There are ones that are active, that are in due diligence period, that are pending, or short sale contingent. And so it shows all the properties that are currently for sale. Now what I like to do, and I do have the ability to only show properties that are let's say I can go here and go more, that are between, say, 800 square feet and 1600 square feet. Okay, or I could do, I only want ones that are between 1.5 bathrooms and 3 bathrooms, or that are built between 1960 and 1990. I have the ability to do that, but for what I'm trying to really accomplish here, I'm really trying to see what all of the sales are, because I'm really trying to get a feel for what is the neighborhood selling for just in general. And I can always take away properties at a later time that don't really fit what I'm looking for. So so again, this is currently showing only active properties. If I want to actually also show properties that have sold, what I do is I come down here to close date, okay? Not contract date, but close dates, which means the date that the house is sold. And I click where it says is, okay? And I change it from is down to, let's see, I want to go 12 months back. But you could go two years or 24 months back. You could go 6 months, 30 days, 90 days, 60 days, 30 days, 7 days, or last month. So I'm really looking in the last 12 months is what. Now, if for some reason it's pulling up almost like 0 sales, then maybe I'll go back a little bit further, like maybe 18 months or 24 months. But really, once you get past about 18 months, then it's really starting to not be like what's considered a comparable sale. I mean, 12 months is pushing it. 18 months is really pushing it. But sometimes you can't find anything else. Now, just because I've changed this date to go back 12 months, so it gives us between 8/26 of 13, 8/26 of 14. Okay. I still then have to go up here to the top where it says status and change it from all of these just that is to, I want to click the closed button. So now it's highlighted, you see? And then I hit enter, and now all the red dots showed up. Now all the red dots are properties that actually sold. The green ones are ones that are active, okay? So like that one sold for $92.5, which is actually kind of surprising looking at the front of it. So now, I would like to know more details of these properties. So I go over here, I click results, okay? And now it gives it to me in a line item type fashion. And if I go over here to the right, it shows, you know, days on market, square feet, bedroom, bathroom, how many half baths it has, garage, when it was built, the list price. And if I go down, it'll show for the red ones that are ones that sold, it actually shows the close price. And then it also shows the percentage of between, you know, what it listed for versus what it sold for. So this area seems pretty strong. It looks like a lot of properties are selling up where people didn't take but maybe like a 3% discount, or even some properties sold above their list price. So, you know, it's an indicator it's a pretty strong area. Now, this is just a straight grid view. So first of all, what I would like to do if I'm assessing the value in this manner is I like to organize it a little bit. So what I can do is I can actually drag, like the subdivision, personally, you know, that's nice if I'm looking at certain subdivisions, but what I'm going to really do is drag it all the way over here. So I'm going to move that out of the way. MLS number is not important to me. Even if it's active is not important to me. Okay, so because I can tell if it's active or closed by the color. Now, what I'm going to do is I can actually move this way, so it gives me a little extra room. Give me a little extra room there, a little extra room there. Half bath, don't need that much room. Garage, don't need that much room. Year built, closed price, maybe. And then I can also drag this. If I go right there in the middle, I can drag it to the right. Okay, and one of the things is I want to zoom this in a little bit more so I can kind of see what I'm dealing with here, because they're numbered. Okay, so this is a perfect opportunity right now to take a screenshot if I wanted to, even though at this point there's just too many of them. I can't fit, you know, all 44 in one screenshot. So what I want to do now is I can come back to this view later. But what I'm going to do is I want to actually change the view so I can see actually the front of the houses. So I'm going to go here to gallery, okay, and now really cool, it shows actually what the front of the house looks like, and the way it's actually organized is from lowest price to highest price. So let's look again at what the front of our house looks like. Okay, that's the front. So we're comparing what they call apples to apples. To be honest, this house looks a lot like these properties that are currently listed for $50,000. This one, yeah, possibly this guy. This one is a lot newer. I don't really consider that one a really good comp. That one, that's possible. I'm going to go ahead and leave that one in. This one is not. This one, you can also tell. When was our house built? If you want to know and you're like, man, I didn't pull up when it was built. Let's look. A quick way to do it is just go to Zillow.com, put in the property address. Now, this is a perfect opportunity to tell you, I don't care what Zillow says the estimated value is. To me, this means nothing. But for what it also, but it does tell us some valuable information. So, because if I click on it, like as far as what other properties in the area are generally renting for, so it's showing us that the rental rate in the area is around 700. But let's see here. So it's a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, 1,161 square feet. Okay, and let's see. As far as year built in 1970, and it has 0.34 acres. And it says it has central cooling and baseboard heating, but based upon what the frontal picture showed me with that window unit, I don't think the AC is working. So what that means to me is that it has baseboard heat and window unit AC. Okay, so with it built in 1970, let's go back to this. So this one was built in 1950. Let's go back up. This one was built in 68, 66. I mean 68. Those are very close. This one was built in 2000 actually. So let's get rid of that one. Okay. 91. Okay. This one was built in 1950. I think we can keep that one. Even though it is on Pleasant Garden Road, which is a nice road, so that could be what's inflating the price. This is the type of things you could just kind of have to, get in tune with, which is if there's a property that looks similar to the other ones, and why is it listed at $40,000 more? You kind of just have to ask yourself these questions. So I'm gonna check that one, meaning it doesn't fit, because when I check them, I'm gonna actually end up removing them. This property also, two-car garage, built in 91. This one's built in 2009. I want to get rid of those. This one's built in 2007. Get rid of that one. This one built in 62. Now that one is closer in age, but when you look at it, it's like that is a really nice property. And honestly, that does not look like that. Those are two completely different properties. So I'm gonna get rid of that one. That one's a 2-story split level with 2-car garage. That's not similar. That one is kind of similar. It's also in Pleasant Garden Road again, so it's another inflated price. Also, it looks like it has a 2-story garage in the back. It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath versus our property that we're dealing with, which is a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. So there again, it's not really the same. Now that I'm seeing it, it looks like they probably did an addition on the back. Okay. This one is built in 2007, is not similar. This one is currently being built. This one is not similar. It's built in 2003, 78. That property is very nice brick looking house, 3-2. I don't think that one's the same. This one right here obviously is not the same. Okay, so let's first of all go over here to filter and show unselected. So now it's just going to get rid of the ones that I think are the most closely similar. This one here looks similar, somewhat. Sold for 20. This one looks pretty similar. Sold for 28.5. This one looks similar. Sold for 39.4. That one looks pretty similar. See the AC unit right there. That looks like it was a really nice property that sold for less than 50. This one here on Madre Place looks pretty similar. That one looks really nice, pretty similar. Del Mar, man, that's a festive looking house, isn't it? 84.5. Let's see. Here, I'm going to come back to those. This one looks like it's a lot newer. This one's a lot newer. This one was built in 80, 1,300 square feet. That's a lot bigger. This one, 3.1. That one's close. It looks like it has been completely renovated and it has a nice property. That one is pretty similar though. Looks like. So this one, these are not similar. Just going through, and I'm going to do the same thing as I did before, which is I'm going to go up and filter them and just show the unselected ones, and then at that point we can go back to the other view and tell what we're really dealing with. Wow, that property sold for $240,000. Okay. All right, now go up here. I got to go to select it and unselected, and then go back to unselected. Okay. Now, see, look at that. Now that gives us a much better idea of what we're dealing with now. It got rid of all the other ones that were actually further out too. And if we zoom in, we can, there we go, there's Blackmore Road, so right there. So that one is the closest. This one, second closest, so this one over here, this one that sold for 89, 45, and 50. So, you know, when I'm looking at listed for 50, sold for 25, that one's 5,700, this one's 45. You know, the value just right on the top looks like it's around 50,000 or less. Okay. Now let's change the view. Let's go back to list. Okay. Now here again, I'm going to go over. Now here we go. I'm going to move this over slightly this way. There was that one random one way over there too. Let's see what we got there. That one, let's just go, that one, let's get rid of that one. That one's like further down the road. It's not really in our area anymore. Oops. Filter, oops, here we go. Unselected. Okay, unselected. Okay, now we're just dealing with right here in this area again. Now I'm going to do a screenshot. So now I'll save this information all in one area. Okay, now I'm going to right click and go to cuts. See if they got the recent places if I found it. Is it on there yet? Man, it's still not on there. It's so weird. Okay. Okay, go back to the folder that you've created in Dropbox. And there we go. So I save that in there. Okay. I gotta just uninstall that. Now, so I went ahead and saved it. So that's just like a quick reference. Now, the next thing I want to do is do what's called a quick CMA. So I'm going to click here on quick CMA, and it's going to basically give me a breakdown of the averages of all of the properties. Okay, so currently what we're dealing with, we have 3 properties that are active, that are similar to our property. Okay, so now this is interesting. This one's between 800 and 1100 square feet. This one's between 800 and 1100 square feet. And this one is much larger, between 1800 and 2200 square feet. But what it's showing here is that the average list price is around 63. Now, with that being said, I didn't realize this one was so much larger than our comp property. So I'm going to go ahead and actually get rid of that property, because it's really not. Now let's look at which one that one was. That was this one. That one is actually much larger. So, because our property again was 1,161 square feet. Okay. Now, if it's between 1,800 and 20-something hundred, then that's much different. Okay. Selected and unselected, and then go back to unselected. Okay. Now, let's go back to our CMA. All right. Now it's just going to show 2. So the average. So both of the properties are listed for 50. The days on market, they're both around, less than around 3.5 months and less. Now, so at the top we have these are active, and then down here we have closed. So we got 2 active that are similar and 7 closed properties that are similar. Based upon what this is showing is that the average list price is 50, and down here what we're looking at is average as well. The average square footage is 1151, okay? And remember, ours is 1161, so that seems very accurate. On average, there's 3 bedroom, 1 bath, and it has a 2-car garage. Ours does not have a 2-car garage, okay? You can look also here on Zillow, you can do like a aerial view as well, and just to confirm, look, no garage, right? So that's also something that, so that's something that's also going to be somewhat of a hindrance. Year built average, list price average is about 45. List price based upon square footage is $41.20, and then the average close price is about 43,801. Okay, and then the cost per square foot is $40.14, and the average days on market is 149 days, which is about 5 months. Okay. All right. So what I want to do now is I want to hit print. Okay, and I'm not actually printing it because if you've already installed Qt PDF, or this actually gives you the option of already save as a PDF, but if you actually had to print, I could pretend like I'm printing and then print using Qt PDF, and it will save it as a PDF. A PDF is basically just a document that saves to your computer that's not editable. Okay, so I'm just going to name this CMA, click OK, and let's see, if I go to recent traces this time, let's show it. It there again does not show it anywhere unless I'm just overlooking it. So it's okay. Go to Dropbox, go to personal leads, Blackmore, and there's CMA. Okay. All right. So again, now what I want to do some quick math here. What is this telling us that the value of the home is? Okay, based upon the information you see here. Okay. What this is telling me is that I'm really looking at this close price per square foot and then the days on market. Okay. Now, close price per square foot. Okay, so what we want to do is pull up a calculator. All right. And there again, we want to look at how many square feet we have, which is 1,161 square feet. Okay. So we do 1,161 square feet multiplied by, go back here, this close price per square foot, which is $40.14. $40.14 gives us an estimated value of 46,602. Okay. Essentially, what this is telling me also is that we'll end up listing it for around $50,000 on average. It'll take about 5 months to sitting on the market, and we'll end up selling it at $40.14 per square foot, and this will be around the amount that we'll end up selling the house for. It's very interesting, but it's also very dependable and predictable. Okay, so there again, this is what's showing the value of the home is. Now I want to save that information. I can go to the folder that we created here, and I can right click, go to new, go down here to Microsoft Word document, and go, I can just put thoughts and research. Okay. If I open it up, I'll just put CMA showing $40.14 per square foot. And it's 1,161 square foot equals estimated value of so 46,602. 46,602. Okay. All right. And there may actually be an easier way of doing this using a real list or some other aspect of the MLS, but this is what I'm familiar with so far. So this is saved. Also, one other thing I want to do while I'm still here in the MLS is I'd really love to save the reports on each one of these properties. So if I go up here to print, okay, and I go here, print, go to reports, all right, and I want the agent full report, and I go down here and save as PDF, and I go comparable sales listings reports. Oh yeah, there we go. It's going to take a minute for it to create the reports, but it's going to create the reports for all of these properties, all 9, the 2 listed and the 7 sold properties. Okay, there we go. I'm going to click save, And now I'm going to just go ahead and open it up. So this is showing the first property, the property report. So it's showing, you know, roughly about how many square feet it is. It's listed, so it can't give us the exact square footage. Shows the year built, acreage here, shows cooling, window units, electric heat, which is most likely baseboard heating. Exterior is brick and aluminum, which means most likely ours is aluminum siding and brick, because it's in the same neighborhood. Shows the dimensions of the rooms down here, appliances that they have left with the house. It shows the tax rate, tax value, shows the number, how much the taxes are per year, and it shows it's an owner sale. Okay, and it shows that Kathy Haynes is the agent and her contact number if you want to call her. And yeah, that's it. So then on to the next one. I'm looking to see if this one is a investor sale, a bank REO or owner sale. So it's owner sale. Okay. All right. And let's see. All right. Now this one. See, this one says this is a Fannie Mae home path property, which means it's a HUD home. Okay. It sold. Okay. See, it says foreclosure REO bank. So that's the reason why it sold for that price, for 25. This one, let's see what this one, owner sale. This sold for 45. Okay. This one, it looks really nice. It was a owner sale, and this one was a owner sale, and then this last one was an owner sale. Okay. So that's the rundown on the MLS. So there again, if we go back to our property folder, we got the reports that I'm just showing you. I got the CMA, got a screenshot of the house, and also screenshots of this information here, just kind of like a quick look and where the properties are located. And that's actually saved as a photo. You can't tell, but this is actually a full screen photo. Oops, okay. And then I saved my thoughts and research information about the value that the MLS is showing us. And yeah, that's it. Okay, I'm gonna do a second video right after this showing like what the next step that would take for researching the property.